People often say that life is short, so they want to enjoy now and worry later. But life is also long, long enough for consequences to catch up. Many people spend their 20s and 30s acting like money will always be there, only to reach their 40s realizing that time slipped away and nothing was built. They don't regret what they didn't buy. They regret that they didn't plan. Enjoyment is important, but enjoyment without discipline becomes self-destruction. Two paths exist for everyone: the easy path of immediate gratification and the harder path of controlled choices. The easy path feels good today but hurts tomorrow. The harder path feels uncomfortable today but pays you back with freedom, peace, and opportunities later. Every successful person you admire took the second path, not because it was easy, but because they understood the cost of ignoring it. Discipline shapes your character. It strengthens your self-respect. It makes you trustworthy, dependable, and focused. When you are disciplined with money, you naturally become disciplined in other areas of life: your time, your goals, your habits, your relationships. This is because discipline is not just a financial tool. It's a mindset that spills into everything you do. Wealth grows in silence. It multiplies through patience. It thrives under consistency. But none of that can happen without discipline. Money is like a tree. It can grow tall and strong, but only if you water it consistently. Discipline is that water. Without it, the tree dries, withers, and dies, no matter how strong the seed once was. Many people have the seed, talent, opportunity, potential, but they never water it. Their wealth dies not because they were unlucky, but because they were undisciplined. Everything in life improves when discipline becomes part of your identity. You no longer spend without thinking. You no longer chase trends or compare yourself to others. You no longer seek validation through purchases. Instead, you focus on what truly matters: stability, growth, peace, and long-term purpose. Discipline is not a punishment. It's a protection. It protects you from financial mistakes. It protects your future. It protects your independence. It protects your mental peace. When you practice discipline, you are not hurting yourself. You are saving yourself. And when you apply discipline consistently, something powerful happens. Wealth begins to follow you. Not because you chase it, but because you create the environment where it can grow. Wealth is loyal to discipline. It stays where it is respected. It expands where it is understood. It survives where it is protected. Wealth doesn't simply die on its own. It dies when discipline dies. But when discipline becomes part of your everyday life, wealth doesn't just live. It thrives, multiplies, and elevates every part of your life. Discipline is the skeleton of financial success. If wealth is a house, discipline is the foundation. You can decorate a weak foundation, but it won't stand. Wealth can arrive suddenly, through opportunities, luck, or unexpected income, but without discipline, it slips away just as quickly. Money needs structure. It needs rules. It needs purpose. When you don't provide those, the world will impose its own structure on you: debt, stress, and limitations. The greatest irony is that discipline doesn't limit you, it frees you. People think discipline takes away joy, but in reality, it removes the anxiety that comes from financial instability. It creates a life where emergencies don't scare you, where bills don't control you, where decisions are made from strength, not fear. Discipline gives you a type of freedom that impulsive spending can never deliver. When you're disciplined, you stop living paycheck to paycheck. You stop buying things to impress people who don't matter. You stop feeling guilty after spending. You stop relying on luck or uncertainty. Instead, you begin living with intention. You begin building a cushion. You begin crafting a future that belongs to you. Your confidence rises. Your mental load decreases. Your decisions improve. Your life becomes lighter, calmer, stronger. Every day presents a small moment of choice. Should you spend or save? Should you plan or ignore? Should you invest or delay? These daily choices may seem small, but they accumulate into your entire financial reality. Discipline is not about restricting your life. It's about directing it. Every person carries two kinds of desires within them: the desires that bring immediate pleasure and the desires that create long-term stability, strength, and success. Most people chase the first category: the quick highs, the instant rewards, the temporary satisfaction that lasts only moments. But the second category, the one that shapes your future, demands consistency, restraint, and discipline. And because discipline feels uncomfortable in the beginning, most people avoid it. They choose comfort today and unknowingly choose struggle for tomorrow. Wealth doesn't disappear because people don't earn enough. Wealth disappears because people don't control what they earn. Money in itself is not powerful. The person handling it is. When someone lacks discipline, even a high income cannot save them from financial collapse. Conversely, a disciplined person can turn even a modest income into stability, security, and eventually growth. This is why two people with the same salary can live entirely different lives, one drowning in stress, the other quietly building a future. Money slips away silently. It doesn't vanish overnight. It leaks slowly through daily habits. The unnecessary purchases, the emotional spending, the lack of planning, the impulsive decisions, the constant need for immediate comfort. What makes wealth die is not one bad decision, but a series of habits that feel harmless in the moment but destructive over time. Discipline is the only force that can counter these habits. Many people blame the economy, inflation, or circumstances for their financial problems. But the truth is that circumstances matter far less than behavior. A disciplined mind becomes stable even in unstable times. An undisciplined mind becomes unstable even in stable times. Discipline changes your relationship with money. It teaches you to pause before purchasing. It makes you question whether something is necessary. It gives you the clarity to separate wants from needs. It builds a shield around your future. The biggest misconception about wealth is that earning more automatically creates a better life. People believe that once they make a certain amount, all their stresses will disappear. But if financial habits don't change, nothing changes. When income increases without discipline, expenses expand to match it. Lifestyle inflation becomes an invisible trap. People feel rich for a moment, but they remain one emergency away from struggle. Wealth does not grow from what you earn. Wealth grows from what you keep. And what you keep depends entirely on discipline. A person who earns $10,000 a month but saves nothing is financially weaker than someone who earns $3,000 a month but manages their money with precision and intention. The difference is not income, it's behavior. Discipline protects you from your own impulses. It gives you control at the exact moments when emotions try to take over. There is a temporary discomfort in saying no to unnecessary purchases, but there is permanent discomfort in living without financial stability. The short-term pain of discipline is always lighter than the long-term pain of regret. You cannot avoid pain. You can only choose the kind that builds you instead of breaking you. When someone spends carelessly for a moment of pleasure, they feel good instantly but suffer eventually. When someone practices discipline, saving, investing, avoiding impulsive choices, they sacrifice a moment of pleasure but secure years of peace. The trade-off is always happening. Every decision is either feeding your future or starving it. Wealth dies quickly in the hands of someone who doesn't respect it. Give $1 million to an undisciplined person, and they can lose it within months. Give a small amount to a disciplined person, and they can grow it over years. This is why lottery winners go broke and disciplined investors build empires. The money was never the issue. The mindset was. Consider how many people dream big but act small. They plan everything but execute nothing. They talk about their goals but never move toward them. They wait for the right time, the right day, the right mood. But there is no right time to begin. There is only time wasted while waiting. Discipline teaches you to act even when you are not ready. It teaches you to begin even when conditions are not perfect. Because perfection is not required for progress. Discipline is. Your discipline determines your destiny. It shapes your future quietly. It works silently, but its results speak loudly. Wealth built with discipline feels different. It feels earned, respected, valued. Wealth built without discipline feels unstable, temporary, fragile. Because money without discipline is a burden, not a blessing. Think about the habits that shape your life right now. The way you spend your time, the way you handle your money, the way you react to challenges, the way you manage your emotions. These habits are either building your future or destroying it. And the difference between the two is discipline. You must be honest with yourself. Are your habits helping you grow? Or are they slowly holding you back? Are they creating wealth? Or are they killing it? Are they making you stronger? Or are they making you weaker? Awareness is the first step toward discipline. Acceptance is the second. Action is the third. And consistency is the fourth. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for inspiration. Stop waiting for circumstances to change. Nothing will change until you discipline yourself. Your life will not transform because of a dream. It will transform because of daily habits. Your wealth will not grow because of desire. It will grow because of disciplined actions performed repeatedly. Sometimes the hardest discipline is the discipline of patience. Staying consistent when results are slow, trusting the process when progress feels invisible, continuing the journey when doubt tries to pull you back. Most people quit too early because they want quick results. But wealth is a long-term game. Discipline is the fuel that keeps you playing when others walk away. Think of your mind as a garden. Discipline is the gardener. Without a gardener, weeds grow. Weeds of fear, weeds of laziness, weeds of procrastination, weeds of excuses, weeds of distractions. These weeds choke your potential. They steal your clarity. They suffocate your ambition. Discipline removes these weeds one by one. It cleans your mental garden. It allows your dreams to grow without being strangled. When you control your mind, you control your life. When you discipline your thoughts, you discipline your actions. When you discipline your actions, you build habits. When you build habits, you build wealth. The journey will not always feel exciting. Most days will feel ordinary, repetitive, even boring. But the greatest progress is often made in silence. Not through dramatic events, but through consistent actions. Wealth grows quietly. Stability grows quietly. Confidence grows quietly. And discipline is the quiet architect behind it all. The world glorifies success but ignores discipline. People see the outcome but not the process. They see the rewards but not the sacrifices. They see the results but not the routine. They want the glory but not the grind. But the grind is where greatness is built. The grind is where discipline is born. The grind is where transformation happens. You must learn to love the grind, to embrace the process, to trust the journey, because every moment of discipline brings you one step closer to the life you want. Every moment of discipline makes you stronger than your excuses. Every moment of discipline shapes your future in ways you cannot see yet. Your greatest competition is not another person. It is the version of yourself that chooses comfort over commitment. It is the version that postpones instead of performs. It is the version that desires but does not act. It is the version that dreams but does not work. And every time you choose discipline, you defeat that version. Remember this: your wealth dies without discipline, but with discipline, your wealth becomes unstoppable. Discipline is the quiet force that works behind the scenes of every great achievement. While most people search for inspiration, successful people build discipline. Because inspiration is an emotion, but discipline is a commitment. Inspiration sparks the beginning, but discipline ensures the finish. And the world never rewards those who start. It rewards those who finish. The truth is that wealth is never accidental. It is built through thousands of small decisions, decisions that the undisciplined mind ignores. Wealth is shaped in moments when no one else sees your choices. It is built when you decide to save instead of spend, study instead of sleep, improve instead of complain, work instead of waste time. These moments look small, but together they form the architecture of your future. Many people think their life will change when they earn more. They believe a bigger salary, a better business, or a bigger opportunity will fix everything. But financial freedom is not the result of earning more. It is the result of managing what you already have. If you are not disciplined with a small income, you will not magically become disciplined with a large one. Money exposes your habits. It reveals your patterns. It magnifies your decisions. Money behaves according to your discipline, not your desires. You must understand that discipline is not punishment. It is not deprivation. Discipline is not about restricting your life. It is about directing your life. It is about choosing what matters over what distracts. It is about choosing long-term peace over short-term pleasure. It is about creating a life where you control your behavior instead of being controlled by it. When you practice discipline, your world becomes clearer, your priorities become sharper, your time becomes valuable, your energy becomes protected, your purpose becomes stronger, and slowly, life begins to move in your favor because you are no longer fighting yourself. You are working with yourself. People who lack discipline live in constant conflict. They want success, but they choose comfort. They want progress, but they choose distraction. They want wealth, but they choose impulsive spending. They want stability, but they choose inconsistency. Their actions fight against their desires. Their habits fight against their goals. Their mind wants change, but their behavior keeps them stuck. Discipline resolves this conflict by aligning your actions with your ambitions. Imagine two versions of yourself. One version takes responsibility, builds habits, manages time, controls spending, focuses on growth, and moves with purpose. The other version drifts, wastes time, spends impulsively, chases distractions, complains about circumstances, and waits for motivation. These two versions live inside you. Your discipline decides which one becomes your reality. Life will always present you with two paths, the path of discipline and the path of excuses. One leads to strength, the other leads to regret. One leads to wealth, the other leads to struggle. One builds your future, The other destroys it slowly. Every choice you make moves you one step closer to one path or the other. Discipline grows when you challenge yourself. When you wake up early, even if you want to sleep. When you control your desires, even if they scream. When you stay focused, even when distractions tempt you. When you commit, even when no one encourages you. When you choose growth, even when comfort feels easier. Comfort is the enemy of discipline, and without discipline, wealth cannot survive. Think of comfort as a soft pillow. It feels good in the moment, but if you sleep on it too long, your life begins to fall apart. Comfort steals your ambition. It steals your drive. It steals your momentum. It steals your discipline. And slowly, without you noticing, comfort steals your wealth. The journey toward financial freedom requires discomfort. It requires sacrifice. It requires the willingness to do things most people avoid. Waking up earlier, budgeting, saving, learning, investing, controlling emotions, delaying gratification, working even when tired. These actions are not easy, but they are necessary. Every wealthy person has walked this path of discomfort. Every successful person has paid this price of discipline. People often ask, why does building wealth take so long? The answer is simple. Because discipline takes time to mature. You cannot plant a seed today and expect fruit tomorrow. You cannot practice discipline for 1 week and expect a lifetime of success. Discipline grows through repetition, through consistency, through resilience. And once discipline becomes your lifestyle, wealth becomes your companion. Many people live their entire lives wishing, dreaming, hoping, but very few live with discipline. Those few become the examples others admire. They become the stories others tell. They become the voices people listen to. They become the ones who rise above circumstances. They become the ones who build wealth that lasts. Wealth is not a miracle. It is a result. And the cause behind that result is discipline. You must ask yourself, what kind of life do you want? What kind of future do you want? What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Do you want a life controlled by impulses or directed by purpose? Do you want to build something meaningful or waste your potential on temporary distractions? Do you want to struggle forever or rise with stability? Your future depends on your discipline. Your freedom depends on your discipline. Your wealth depends on your discipline. Without it, wealth dies. With it, wealth grows. Imagine 2 people. Both have dreams, passion, ambition. One relies on motivation. The other relies on discipline. Motivation fades quickly. It is emotional. It is temporary. It is a spark, not a fire. But discipline is stable. It does not depend on mood. It does not rely on feelings. It does not wait for the right moment. Discipline acts despite discomfort. Discipline rises even when motivation dies, and that is why the disciplined one wins. The person with discipline builds wealth slowly but surely. The person without discipline chases wealth quickly but loses it even faster. Discipline shapes your behavior when no one is watching. It guides your decisions when no one is advising. It protects your future when no one is helping. It is the quiet partner in your success story. Every time you resist an unnecessary purchase, discipline is speaking. Every time you save instead of waste, discipline is guiding. Every time you work on your goals instead of procrastinating, discipline is growing. Every time you say no to distractions, discipline becomes stronger. And every time discipline grows, your future becomes brighter. The decisions you make daily are writing your destiny. Each moment of discipline adds to your power. Each moment of weakness subtracts from your progress. Discipline is a muscle. It strengthens when used and weakens when ignored. You must become the kind of person who chooses long-term rewards over short-term pleasure. Because the world is full of distractions designed to steal your focus, your time, your money, your energy. Every advertisement wants your attention. Every product wants your wallet. Every entertainment wants your hours. But discipline protects you from this theft. Discipline becomes your shield. Wealth begins with awareness, aware of your bad habits, aware of your wasteful tendencies, aware of the lies you tell yourself, aware of the excuses you make, aware of the comfort that steals your future, aware of the behaviors that drain your potential. Once you become aware, you can change. But awareness without discipline is useless. Awareness tells you what is wrong. Discipline fixes it. Think of the last time you wasted money. Was it emotional, impulsive, out of habit, out of boredom, out of social pressure, out of wanting to impress others? These are the enemies of wealth, and these enemies live inside your mind. Discipline defeats them. When you discipline your mind, your finances follow. When you discipline your habits, your bank account improves. When you discipline your goals, your opportunities expand. When you discipline your time, your life transforms. Time is the real currency of wealth, and how you use your time determines how wealthy you become. People who want wealth but waste time are like farmers who want harvest but never plant seeds. People who want success but avoid discipline are like travelers who want to reach a destination but refuse to walk. The journey requires effort, and discipline makes the effort possible. You must understand that wealth is not only about money, it is also about mindset, about emotional control, about self-respect, about knowing when to stop and when to push, about knowing what to prioritize and what to remove. Wealth is also peace, stability, freedom, confidence, and the ability to take care of yourself and your loved ones. And none of this comes without discipline. You cannot build wealth with a chaotic mind. You cannot build wealth with scattered habits. You cannot build wealth with uncontrolled desires. You cannot build wealth with impulsive decisions. Discipline organizes your mind. It structures your choices. It stabilizes your path. It sharpens your direction. It gives you clarity where confusion existed. Discipline is not just about saying no. It is also about saying yes to the right things, the things that matter, the things that build your future. Saying yes to learning, yes to growth, yes to consistency, yes to planning, yes to investing in yourself, yes to waking up earlier, yes to cutting toxic habits, yes to building something meaningful, yes to developing the courage to change your life. We live in a world where people chase wealth as if it is the ultimate destination, the final reward, the proof of success. But the truth is that wealth is not a moment, not a number, not a bank balance. Wealth is a consequence, a reflection of the discipline you practice every single day. Because without discipline, your wealth dies. Without discipline, your goals fade. Without discipline, even the strongest ambition crumbles into dust. Think about the people you admire, the ones who seem successful, the ones who seem in control of their lives. They are not extraordinary because of luck or talent. They are extraordinary because of their consistency, their habits, their discipline, their ability to do what must be done even when they don't feel like doing it. Discipline is the invisible engine behind every visible success. Most people think wealth is built by opportunity. They wait for the perfect chance, the perfect job, the perfect business idea, the perfect timing. But opportunity means nothing without discipline. How many people have received opportunities but wasted them? How many people started something but quit when it became difficult? How many people made money and watched it disappear because they never learned to control their spending, their habits, their impulses? Wealth is not kept by the talented. It is kept by the disciplined. Look into your own life. Think of the moments when money came into your hands. Salary, business profit, a side income, a bonus, a gift, a stroke of luck. And then think about how quickly it faded. Where did it go? How did it disappear? Why didn't it stay? The answer is simple. Because discipline wasn't guarding it. You didn't lose money. You lost the opportunity to manage it with discipline. Wealth that is not protected by discipline is like water poured into open hands. No matter how much comes, most of it slips away. Wealth protected by discipline is like water stored in a vessel. It stays, it grows, it multiplies. People believe money changes everything, but the truth is that money only amplifies who you already are. If you are disciplined, money strengthens your life. If you are careless, money weakens your life. If you are controlled, money becomes a tool. If you are impulsive, money becomes a trap. Money in the hands of a disciplined person multiplies. Money in the hands of an undisciplined person disappears. You must understand something powerful. The greatest threat to your wealth is not poverty. It is lack of discipline. Poverty is a condition you can rise from. Lack of discipline is a prison that keeps you where you are. Because poverty can be temporary, but undisciplined behavior makes it permanent. A person earning a small income but managing it wisely and consistently can build stability, can build security, can build freedom. But a person earning a large income but living without discipline will always feel broke, always feel stressed, always feel behind. Income creates the possibility. Discipline determines the outcome. Think of all the people who earn well but still struggle. Think of those who have good jobs but no savings. Think of those who have high salaries but live paycheck to paycheck. Think of those who make profit in business but spend more than they earn. Their problem is not a lack of money, it is a lack of discipline. Wealth is not about how much you make. It is about how much you keep, how much you manage, how much you protect, how much you invest. And none of this is possible without discipline. The foundation of wealth is built on small, consistent actions. Saving a portion of your income, avoiding unnecessary spending, planning your future, managing your time, building valuable skills, investing in yourself, developing habits that strengthen your mindset. These actions are not exciting. They are not dramatic. They are not glamorous. They are simple, boring, repetitive acts of discipline. Most people fail not because they don't know what to do, but because they don't do it long enough. They try something for a few days, maybe a few weeks, and then they stop. They search for shortcuts, magic formulas, quick results. They chase the illusion of instant wealth and miss the truth that discipline is the only real shortcut.